Let me just shut this radio off.
Yeah, guys, I'm gonna shut my radio
So
off.
chat. Also, if you don't know, you get to win. You get to enter the $100 giveaway. Then also you get to. When you use your Prime, you can lose 10 pounds instantly, lose all your acne.
So
you get to have a boyfriend or girlfriend instantly, and you get a fucking bigger wiener or a BBL.
This just didn't come out of nowhere. Obviously, we have tons of different gangs that have warehouses.
Yeah. So the one thing I do remember with this whole thing, what Eugene was about you guys were spraying down there and his spot. So Eugene's telling me there's like not much to it, but I'm like, okay, Eugene, okay, there's not much to it. I was like, I'm gonna go talk to OTT about this.
Oh, there's a lot to it, bro.
All right, so talk to me. That's why I'm here.
Okay. Yeah. And I'm not bullshitting you on any of this. I'm just telling you the way it is. I mean, obviously, there's two sides to a story.
Zila,
but,
thank you, baby. I appreciate it.
Fill you in.
Birdman, thank you.
So,
Mackenzie, thank you.
We have tons of people that have warehouses in Cyprus, like fucking. You name it, bro. We've seen Marabuntas down there, Hidden down there, GSF down there, Russ down there.
I mean, I even got one down there.
There you go. You got one down there. Eugene's got one down there. I mean, it's basically a warehouse haven, which we understand. It is very rare for us to press anybody at the warehouses unless they're complete and utter fucking dicks. And it's just like, if we got a problem, then why are you in our territory with a warehouse? So when it came to Eugene, I knew about his bench before I knew about his warehouse. So one morning, I guess after the EU wave, when I used to be like a fucking meth demon, and all I did was sit on my bike and sell meth.
I remember.
Yeah. I haven't done that in a long time. So I was down there selling right after the wave, and a dude blacked out goes over there. I go over there to press him. Like, who the fuck are you? And he said, oh, it's Eugene. I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, what are you doing down here? He's like, oh, this is where my bench is. I'm like, okay. So
wait, did he just literally come out and say, wait, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, he just straight up told me, like, just boom, that's his bench. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, fragging it out. Thank you, baby.
So,
Let's
anyway,
fucking go. Use those primes,
then,
baby. Let's go.
I guess we'll start with the first instance. Do you remember that time where the police had some dumb bullshit where it's like, if you wore a mask or you look suspicious, like they had the right to like frisk you and kind of like go through your shit, make sure you weren't like, if you got like a history. So Eugene was down on our block just doing Eugene shit. And I can't recall exactly what happened, but anyway, he was told to get the fuck out, like to just leave the area. Not too long later, we're all we're chilling, and I do believe a couple of us were selling weed in the back of my house, in the back alleyway. And next thing you know it, bro, no joke, 6 to 8 cops came flying down on Brogue all together. And we're like, what the fuck is going on? And at first we're like, okay, maybe it's just the weed stuff. Like, a couple of boys were selling weed, whatever. So they came down and they weren't on any like suspicious activity tip. They were on like, hey, we want to frisk all of you guys, every one of yous. And we're like, nah, fuck you. You ain't frisking shit. And they're like, oh, you're wearing a mask and stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's my block. It's OTT. Like, you know who I am. And they're like, oh, well, we got a call. And I'm like, oh, really? All of a sudden, shit broke out. Some people left. Some people were fighting because some people had weed and shit on them, so they end up dipped. Bunch of us get arrested. We get a shit ton of charges.
Thank you, baby.
And we get fucked on. While I'm in jail, one of the cops tells, like, I'm like, why are you doing this? One of the cops goes out and just says that, he got a call basically from Eugene that there was somebody that had a weapon. And so they came down to get the weapon. That was their excuse to come in. Could they have been lying to me? I mean, yeah, but like why? And Eugene was down there earlier, so like, and it was like, from what I recall, because this was a long time ago, Vinny. This was months ago.
So basically you stated that like Eugene snitched to the cops then.
Yeah, I think Eugene put in a call saying that there was somebody with a gun, and then the cops came down because I think Eugene knew at the time that the cops are going fucking hard in paint for, just whatever, for masked up people, suspicious people, or whatever. So anyway, we didn't even make a massive deal about it. Like because I think at the time too, we had something going on, and once again, this is foggy because it was a long time ago.
Yeah, understandable.
So, and I just don't want to sit here and lie to you and give you just like inaccurate information, but that's basically what happened. So at that point, you know, our boys were already kind of pissed off at Eugene, but we're like, whatever, it's Eugene, just leave it. It is what it is. Then things started escalating over a period of time. He came down. So there was two things. You remember when Dean wanted to take over Grove? And,
the boys arc thing. Yeah.
Yes. So when that was going on, as normal, you know how I am, Vinny. I got the OGs of the South Side together, and you know, it was like,
of course, it's politics at that point.
Yeah, it's politics. You know, it was the thing to do, and it was to get people together, talk about what's going on. And I had the Vagos down there. Eugene came in just dressed as Eugene, and I do believe Nova was with Eugene, like your Nova. And so they came in just basically nosing around, and I'm like, Eugene, you know, just fuck off, pretty much. Like, this has nothing to do with
there's
you.
no
just
need to
leave.
talk
He's
shit
like,
about people. If you're gonna talk shit about people, you're gonna get banned in my chat.
Not too long later,
I don't give a fuck.
Random Vagos show up at the car wash while we're having this deep conversation about Dean and what he's doing, and it's very clear it's Eugene. Like, we know, you know, he's like, he's doing his thing,
yeah,
and he's trying to get close to like eavesdrop in on the conversation. So not only are Vagos kind of, you know, irritated because they're dressed up as Vagos, but we've already told him to fuck off. So we then tell him again to fuck off. He fucks off, and then he starts robbing one of our locals to like kind of piss us off. Now, he wasn't like, he wasn't sitting there to like, you know, steal money off it, but I just think
activating it.
Correct. Correct. He was just getting our locals to like page everybody and be like, yo, some idiot's going through my pockets. And we knew who it was. We didn't really do anything of it. Once again, it's just adding on to more stuff. Then, this actually happened maybe 2 months ago. I'd say about 2 months ago. Some shit was going down at the car wash. We had recently opened up the car wash. Shit was bumping. Eugene comes down. He's starting to talk a bunch of shit in front of our boys. The cops were there as well. Eugene ends up shooting Jason, one of our dudes, and then Eugene ends up getting stabbed. I don't know the full details because I wasn't there. I was out there doing a job. But the long story short is Eugene came down, created a scene, just doing Eugene shit. Ended up with a couple of BSK getting arrested, losing our, you know, guns, and they blocked off the streets and shit like that. And at that point, that was when I told the boys, that's it. Eugene is done. Like, I don't want him even in Cyprus. Like, this guy, he is just a shit stirrer. So at that point, I started. That's when I tagged up his warehouse, and I put like a king spray on there.
Okay.
And I put a note, and I said, "You have a 72-hour eviction." So
yeah, I remember
that.
He came to me with that.
Yeah. So he knew at that point what was up, and then I had met up with him. I don't know if it was via call or I bumped into him. Might have been literally at his warehouse. I don't recall. But I told him, I want you out. And he was like, oh, why you want me out? And I'm like, Eugene, you know why, bro. You started a bunch of shit down here. The boys ain't having it. Just get up and move. And he just refused to do so. So then I put a 48-hour spray on there, and then I put a 24-hour, so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden, I guess maybe he did or somebody else, he just put a whole shit ton of sprays, like all kinds of different gangs and stuff like that.
He said he's going to make art. Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah. So, and I knew he was seeing what I was doing because I'd put a BSK spray like right on his door, and every day I'd wake up and that would be the only spray removed.
Okay.
So like I knew he knew what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we started, and I tell you, man, I would say a minimal of 30 times a day I'm circling around Eugene's warehouse to see if I can catch him.
Mm-hmm.
So I told my boys that I do not, under any circumstance, want you to go around and hunt Eugene on the streets. Only if you catch him at the warehouse to rob him and tell him he's not welcome in Cyprus. That's it. Because Eugene is around EU by himself without really, maybe you're awake like you are now, or maybe there's like one other person. He kind of just does his own thing, and we didn't want this to turn into us just hunting Eugene around, shooting him until he fucking sells his warehouse.
Yeah, nobody appreciates that. I can tell you that. Yeah. So yeah, you're using your fucking brain in a sense. I get it, 100%.
Yeah. And I also know that, you know, Eugene is chain gang, so it's like I got to proceed with caution. I've had a good relationship for the most part with Chang Gang over the last year, and I
Listen,
just
I don't
told
know
the
if you
boys,
like noticed, but us with Changgang as of recently, we don't bother with wars. We don't give two fucks about wars. I'll be real. Like, we care about just staying in our lane, doing our thing, conducting business. That's what we've been about lately. You know, that doesn't go to say like if we have to clap, we won't clap, right? But it's a fact of like, in a sense, we're kind of steering in a different direction. You know what I'm trying to say, bro? We're old. You know what I mean? Listen, we're getting older. We've been around fucking for ages. You know what I mean? So I trust me, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah. So I tried to do it in a way that didn't kind of blow shit up, but at the same time letting Eugene know that when you do this dumb shit, it's like if we did that shit in Little Seoul, like, we know we're gonna get fucking clapped, whether it's from you guys or Hydra or something. And then to have a warehouse in your territory on top of that, it's just like, nah, bro, it ain't gonna happen. So I once again warn Eugene, get up and leave or you're gonna be robbed. I literally told him this. And he's like, he didn't care, and then he wanted to know why, and I explained to him why. And then yesterday I had gotten my hands for the first time with a motion sensor. And I said, okay, well, fuck, what's a great way to test this motion sensor? Let's put it on Eugene's warehouse. Instead of me driving around 30 times plus a day, let's just put a motion sensor down there. And then when he shows up, we'll all just beeline it there to, like, catch him in the act. Because we didn't want to go out and hunt him, like I said before.
Yeah.
That was when the motion sensor went off 3-4 times. We'd go there, and, like, he was in and out. So, like, we just kept missing him. So we didn't even bother, like, going around. Then the last time, we were pretty close. We were not far from the block, and we got there, and he was driving away in his orange Porsche. So I pulled next to him. I said, Eugene, pull over. And he's like, why? What do you want me to pull over? And I'm like, you know why, Eugene? Because and he was like, well, you got to tell me why. I'm like, because I said so, right? I was starting to get irritated. And he said, oh, fuck you. And then he just drove off, and we started chasing him. Now, I could have pulled my gun out and shot his tire. We had 6 people chasing him. Would have got fucked on, but we didn't. We just chased him all the way until he got past Weebu Cafe, and he went up on top of the construction area to get ready to ramp over to the highway. And when he was up top there, he texted me, and he said, you'll never catch me. I lose, cops 10 times a day. What is your problem? Blah, blah, blah. I ignored the text. Then he called me. I ignored the call. And I was like, just wait until he goes back to the warehouse, and we'll get him again. Well, he then got into a helicopter, landed on top of Big White, that next to the parkade. He had a megaphone, and he started yelling down, what is your problem? Why do you want me to get rid of my warehouse in Cyprus? Blah, blah, blah. And that was when I called him on the phone, and I said, listen, Eugene, you know why. And he's like, no, I don't. What did I do? What did I do? And I was like, I've explained this to you over and over and over again. He's like, well, I need to know. And I'm like, I'm not telling you anymore. I'm done. He's like, okay, well then, gotcha. I must not have done anything. And I was like, no, Eugene, you know what you're doing. We want you out. And he's like, well, if you can't tell me a reason why, then, I'm not moving it. I said, okay, fine. I hang up the phone. He's now on his megaphone. He said he'll clap all 6 of us. This is his home now. He's sitting on Big White. You guys ain't gonna do shit. He told me he's gonna get me fired from Wu Chang. He then said, we're pussies, we're a shit tier gang, and we're gonna be scared. We won't be around when Chang Gang wakes up. And he's, basically we're just a bunch of pussies, right? So I said, okay, cool. So we get a helicopter, and I get a parachute, and we fly over towards Big White, and I jump out the helicopter and put out my parachute to get ready to land on Big White to go smoke this dude. As I'm doing that, he takes off and he flies back over towards Little Seoul. So at that point, I'm like, okay, guys, he's now threatening us. He's calling us fucking bitches. He's rubbing the Chang Gang shit in her face. You know how I get, Vinny. I'm like, nah, bro, this ain't it. We're gonna clap this dude.
Okay.
So I drive out. I'm going over towards to where his helicopter land. I realize it's at Little Seoul. I immediately go on the radio and I tell the boys, do not shoot Eugene at Little Seoul. Don't start no shit over there, because I was concerned that Hydra would make it their business because we're inside their territory, and that'll be their excuse to enter this, this duel, so to speak. Well, there was a shit ton of cops over by Maldini's. I saw Eugene on a bike at Maldini's. I radio it over. My prospect Kenji drives over towards Maldini's, and he's running out of gas, and he goes quiet on the radio. We already go back to the block, so we left because we realized, okay, he's over in Little Seoul. We don't want to start no shit there. But then Kenji is quiet, and we're like, oh shit, did he actually just go over there, and did Eugene get him? So we drive over to Little Seoul area. I do a loop on my bike, and there it is. Eugene has Kenji held up in Little Seoul gas station. I immediately radio my boys to come down to Little Seoul. I was like, he's got Kenji. Let's just blitz him, and let's get the fuck out of there.
Okay.
So that's when I ran up. I shot him along with the boys. Frankie went into his pockets, grabbed his gun. Hydra, I guess, was pulling up from the side. I said, guys, just get in and get out. Don't put him in the car. Don't do nothing. I don't want this to turn into a big shit show. Just get in, get out. That's what we did. We went back to the block. When he got out of the hospital, or somebody took him to grandma's, I don't know exactly what happened. He started going on Twitter, calling us a dog shit gang, and we're ganging up on poor Eugene. And I started mouthing back to him as well. And that's that. I expected at that point
son of a bitch,
for
John.
Chang Gang to potentially retaliate. But then I was also telling my crew that CG's probably going to realize that it's Eugene doing Eugene, so maybe there's a chance that they won't do anything. Mm-hmm. So I stayed awake for an extra 3 hours during NA. I was up pretty fucking late, and nothing had happened. So myself and 3 other people decided, okay, we're just going to go to sleep, and we'll see where this leads us tomorrow. I wake up today. Flippy calls me. He's like, what's going on with Eugene? I explained exactly what I just explained to you.
Okay.
And that was when Flippy told me that him, Curtis, Eugene, Zolo, and there was Hutch, and I think one other person came down to Brogue last night and shot up 3 of her prospects. Out of retaliation. So I told Flippy, I'm like, hey man, because Flippy wanted to know what I was gonna do about what just ensued. And I was told from Wes, the guy sitting right there on the bed or on the couch, that that they wanted me to speak to Mr. K, so leader to leader, to figure out what's going on. So I told Flippy that hey, we're not gonna hunt Eugene, we're not gonna hunt CG. I'm gonna wait until I can speak to Mr. K. Mm-hmm. I can't do it tonight because Thursdays I just cannot be awake during the day.
Listen, you got your shit, bro. I mean, I could relay everything to K. It's fine.
Yeah, well, that's what Flippy was saying. So he said, okay, well, I'll relay it to Mr. K. And I said, listen, I don't mind. I don't blame you guys for coming down to the block to shoot, because we went to your block and we shot.
100%.
To be fair,
yeah.
Our boy was being held up. So you would have done the
Eugene
exact same
held up your boy in Little Seoul.
Correct.
Okay, so I was under the impression that you came to Little Seoul and just clapped Eugene.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Our boy went and got gas like an idiot in Little Seoul while we were having a tit with Eugene. Eugene asked him if he was BSK and then held him up. So that's what happened. When the radio went silent, I feared that Eugene had clapped Kenji because he went quiet. So that's when I went back to Little Seoul, because remember, I told you we did not want to start shit there. And that's when I saw Eugene holding up Kenji. I called for backup so that we had numbers, and then we went in, we shot Eugene, we robbed his Browning, and we dipped. That was that.
Okay.
So that was the turn of events.
So now I'm being told that everything is gonna come to a happy medium. He's gonna move his warehouse.
Correct.
You're gonna give him money for it. So
Correct.
Here's what I'm thinking, and you could just piggyback off of this and let me know what you think. Warehouses, okay. As of recently, warehouses are very limited in where you can buy them. There literally was nowhere I could buy mine. That I had to go down to your hood. You know what I mean? I'm gonna talk.
Well, you don't treat us like shit. You don't fucking do this dumb shit.
I get it. I respect. Yeah. Listen, at the way I can already see Eugene. Eugene's probably oh, I had that warehouse before you were running it down there. This, that, and the third. Probably he's probably saying, and that's why he wants to keep it. I'm gonna run this by Kay. I'll talk to Kay about it if you're not gonna be around tonight. Maybe if we could just have a sit down with Eugene, hear what he has to say. Maybe tell him to just lay the fuck off. Stop the fucking nonsense and let him just keep his fucking warehouse down there, and we just fucking continue with life.
I mean, I'm not sure the crew wants that at this point. And I think we've reached a great middle ground, because Eugene came out and texted me and said like he's willing to move it if we pay the difference. And that's when Eugene came down to the block and we had a very civil conversation. He was chill, I was chill. And he's more than happy to take the $400K that I offered him.
Okay.
Once he sells the warehouse, he'll get like $500,000 back. And then he'll go, what he was doing this morning was going around looking for warehouses outside of our territory.
Okay.
So, and the good news is everybody knows where Eugene's warehouse is. So not only it's a win-win, he gets the money to go buy a new warehouse, which will be secretive to him. And then we get Eugene out of that as well. And we don't have to hold that over his head anymore, because there's going to come a time where Eugene's going to poke the bear again. And he's going to do some dumb shit. And we don't want the warehouse to be this point of contention. Then we can just deal with Eugene and just, it is what it is.
Okay.
So I think we've got it all.
You got to have a
settled.
middle ground. Yeah.
Exactly. Where he's happy, he gets a new warehouse, a new location that's secretive. We get him out. Yeah, we pay $400K, but the fact that he is even willing to do that, we thought, hey, it's way better than going to war with CG. There's no reason to, from all this, it's a win-win. So that's sort of where we're at now. And he's actually been really fucking cool about it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I'm gonna go talk to Eugene, get his side, and then we'll take it from there.
All right, that works for me.
All right, but just I guess we'll figure it out. If it's gonna work out that way, that he just moves, he'll fucking move, get out of your hair, and that's fucking it.
Yeah, I mean, if he's having an extremely hard time to find a warehouse and like,
I ain't gonna lie, I'm probably the most recent CG member to get a warehouse, and I went searching for almost like 2 weeks trying to find one. And there was literally fucking nothing. Like everything we went to, everything was either taken or it wasn't a warehouse and it wasn't available. I don't think they're bringing new warehouses into the city, so that's the only reason why my mentality of, if he just leaves you the fuck alone, maybe leave it down there, because when I was looking for one, it was a motherfucker to find one.
Yeah, I get you.
Like, well, even as far as going up north, I couldn't find shit.
Interesting. Well, as of right now, he's agreed to it. I've agreed to it. Both sides are happy. Hopefully he can find something. I think he'll find something, but if not, we can revisit it. I told him our beef is done. Like, we're not going to shoot you. We're not hunting for chain gang members. We're done. Like, it's not that serious.
All right, good enough.
Yeah, we're done. We're
all
good.
right. I appreciate the talk. And yeah, man, I'm going to go talk to this knucklehead and see what he has to say, and that's really it.